Alien Isolation was a great horror game, and it did so many things right. The environment was one-to-one to the original Alien film, the story was fantastic, and in my opinion should be canon. The music was phenomenal, and the gameplay was very fun, engaging, among many other things. Although, if you go through any video talking about it, most can agree the game is pretty good, basically saying the exact same thing.
Unless you're IGN and want to be special.
But let's ignore the people who are bad at games and focus on Alien. One thing that everyone can agree on is that it's absolutely criminal that the game doesn't have a sequel. But sure, there are the DLCs and survivor modes you can play after you complete the game. I can keep playing it only to see the strangest scoreboard known to man and play mods all day.
Let's see how hard this could be. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to have that. I definitely don't remember the game starting off here. Now here, what's over here? Oh, I remember you shoot out like 1 or 2 gunshots. Oh, there's a couple more. They're calling me a speedrunner.
This way. She was downstairs.
Oh. Suckers! Alright, so they found me. They weren't the suckers that I thought they were. Oh? You're not supposed to be here. Yeah, but oh, I don't need to, cause this isn't locked in. No, never know. I hit them with this gun. I'll be able to kill them all. Okay, so they were expecting that. Uh-oh. Oh, they're not here anymore. Is that a cat? Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh god.
But there isn't much to do past that. You could play Fireteam Elite, but why would you do that? I just wish there was something more, you know? What if I told you there is? Alien Blackout is a mobile game that follows after the events of Isolation. How much time has passed? It's not really explained, enough time to be huddled up in a separate station with another xenomorph. A quick rundown of the plot: 4 people from Weyland-Yutani Corporation get onto Mendel Station, a station that studies other life forms, including the big bad xenomorph, and is in need of sudden repairs. Everyone on board is dead except Amanda Ripley, who is stuck on board. After saving their lives from a quick xenomorph encounter, the crew, including Miwa Saito, Dougal Studwig, Andrew Thorncroft, and Naoko Yutani, make a quick deal with Ripley to work together to survive. A nice and quick story without any overarching mysteries, other than the fact that there's a character with the last name Yutani, and if you've seen any kind of alien film, you already know that name is pretty important. But even then, it's somewhat put to the side because she says she's just a second cousin to the actual CEO of Weyland-Yutani, so I think it's fair to say that even she doesn't know too much about the alien and the plan that the company has with it. That's all nice and good, but how does it play? You can look at the crew through cameras who need to do certain tests in certain rooms. You can close certain doors and have motion trackers on certain rooms, but that takes power. You can only do 5 things at a time, so it really makes you think, is it important to keep this door open? How about this room? Do I really need the motion tracker on? Senior producer John Austin said that the gameplay came from the scene in Alien Covenant, where David is trapping and luring the alien around the Covenant ship, thinking it would be a really fun game mechanic, which it is. I've heard a couple people say that this game is similar to Five Nights at Freddy's, and while that's true to an extent, it would be undermining the absolute tension that the game brings, although this implies that FNAF doesn't have the same tension in its gameplay, which it does, but not at the same extent that Blackout does. Isolation has this kind of tension, always wondering about what's going on around the corner, but never actually knowing, letting the fear of what if it is there be the scare factor. Blackout replicates this perfectly and adds on to it with a time limit around 8 minutes, which normally would be a normal amount of time, but you have to work with 2 to 4 people from the crew that arrived. Working with them individually adds so much more tension, especially when there's only one objective. It makes you wonder, would it be better to go in a group or have one person go at a time? Making one person go at a time is less risky and a lot easier to manage. But what if they die? You're gonna have to make someone else go through that same path. So it'd be better for everyone to go at once? Maybe. But it'd be easier for everyone to die when they're so close to each other. It's engaging and super stressful. Not only that, but there are some places where you can't see the crew. If there's some places you can't see the crew, then it also means that there are some places that you can't see the alien, adding even more tension. Small little tangent. Having the formula done so well here, along with Isolation being so well done, makes me think that making the games about the aliens shouldn't be about guns and shooting, but doing what you can with what you have. There's already so much said in the films and games that just sounds like nonsense, and we as an audience just nod our heads as if we understand it. They even make a joke about it in Alien Isolation.
This is what's gonna happen. There are emergency overflow circuits that feed excess power into the local capacitor banks on each tower. If I decouple them and discharge the system, the purge will be external. The nest is right in harm's way.
I have no clue what you just said.
Just find something to hold on to.
We barely have any time where we can just see how regular these people can be. At least when it was done in the original film, it was a lot simpler, which I think they felt the need to make more complicated in future films. Overall, great game. The environment is very cool looking, the story is short and simple, the ambience is tense and scary, the gameplay is super engaging, it's being taken off the App Store by the end of the month. Yeah, it's sunsetting on the 31st. It's really sad seeing such a good game being taken off the App Store so quickly. Seeing as this game was released in 2019, a 4-year lifespan, it's just too little and depressing for a game like this. Especially with all the possibilities that could have shown up as future updates. What about actually replicating the scene from Covenant with David? They did that in Isolation with the original film. What about some kind of prequel stuff with Waits and Ricardo from Isolation? Or hell, maybe even some kind of love for Alien 3 and Resurrection, even if they are the worst thing on the planet and deserve to be forgotten. I know it was a separate team behind Blackout and Isolation, but I still feel like they could have done something with it. This is all just rambling at this point. If you see this before the 31st, do yourself a favor and get this game. It's literally 99 cents and very worth it. And that's it. Bye.